Okay, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the presentation. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, 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 hello. Wow. Hopefully this works. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I got rid of Chrome because Chrome was acting wonkers. And so now I'm using Firefox. So we'll see. I'm hoping that Firefox works. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, we had night prayer last night, and it kept kicking me off all the time, and it was really frustrating. It was almost over 10 times it kicked me off just during night prayer alone, and it never did that before. Never ever did that before, ever. And well, thank you very much. And then all of a sudden, it started acting crazy. I don't know if it was an update. I don't know, but. See, I use StreamYard. So I use StreamYard to connect to all the other social media platforms. And unfortunately, it's one of those crazy things. It just kept kicking me off. And I didn't set up Rumble. Oh, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because they want me to do a video, and I don't really do a video. All right. So, okay, folks, we're here, you're here, and we appreciate y'all being here. Do I have a charismatic movement? We don't, but actually, when I was in the seminary, we were required to go to multiple type of expressions of faith, and charismatic was one that I went to. Well, hello there. I appreciate you. Assalamu alaikum. Everybody, welcome. Appreciate you all being here. So a couple things before we get into the meat and potatoes of the presentation. So I'm Bishop James Long. Hello, bishopjameslong.com. If you want to go there because you're really, really bored and have nothing else better to do. Yep, I can see your Brandon. Bishop James Long, LONG.com. Hello, Ireland. If you want to go to the church's website, well, that's far more important than going to my website. If you want to go to the church's website, go to usocc.org. I have, Jay. I have. So usocc.org. Now, let me. I'll answer your question in just a second. Let me get through these. Let me get through the announcements first, because we just started. We just went live on all of our social media platforms, and then I'll get to your questions. I promise you. We just started. It has built-in ad blocking. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So here's what I need you guys to do. We have a sponsor, and it's KGRADB Radio. And so what I would like for you to do, if you would please consider, just consider it, would you please consider going to this website? It's KGRA, D as in dog, and B as in bicycle. If you do this, then you just click on the store link. And actually, I think it's the merchandise. There we go. I'll save that. And I'll show it everybody. There is KGRADB Radio. And let me just double check it. I believe it's the store link. Let me double check here. RADB.com. I'll get to your questions. Moderators, if you can just remind people, I'll get to the questions in a minute. Shop. Actually, you click on the shop. And if you click on the shop, you'll click my name. So again, it's KGRA, D as in dog, B as in bicycle.com. And if you go to that website, click on the shop link, and you can click my name. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to seriously consider, please, purchasing some of these items. We have some beautiful St. Michael shirts, scented candles, which is absolutely amazing, hoodies. There's a lot of really cool items there, a lot of cool items. As a matter of fact, a sacred division. Coffee mug, there's a bunch of things, even some quotes that I've said before. Thank you very much, Catholic Jen. And what you need to do is when you go there, purchase them. Purchase as much as you want. And here's why. So 100% of the proceeds that would go to me, because I own the Sacred Division. I started it 23 years ago. But 100% of the profits of that would normally go to me, we are donating 100% to the MKS Child Foundation. It is in Africa. They are an orphanage, and I absolutely love this organization. Oh, it looks like Mr. Producer's there. They are truly fantastic guys. They're a beautiful organization, and I just encourage you to go there. Yeah, I'll think. Well, that was very nice. Mr. Producer was checking to make sure he jumped on tonight just to make sure that we're doing okay. So far, we're doing okay on Firefox. We'll see what happens. And hopefully the whole presentation runs smoothly tonight. So I'm on Firefox, Mr. Producer. I'm not on Google Chrome. And all right, appreciate that. And Mr. Producer says, love to everyone and to us. So thank you, Mr. Producer. I appreciate that very, very kindly. So thank you, sir. Thank you. That was nice. That was very nice of him. He's a really cool guy. So again, please, guys, go to KGRAD as in dog, B as in bicycle.com. Guys, I'll get your questions. Let me at least let me get through this. This is important. Your questions are important, but be patient. I just started. Just be patient. Because this is really important to me, and this is important to our community. So kgradb.com. Click on the shop link, and you'll see my name, Bishop James Long, and just click that. See, stay golden, couldn't even be kind. Imagine that, trying to raise funds for an orphanage and people can't even be kind during that. That goes to show what kind of craziness and hatefulness that we have in this world. And so how we combat that nastiness, and now Dawn, is we combat that through love. So 100% of the proceeds that go to that shop, I'm going to pin that. There you go. 100% of the proceeds that would normally go to me, we are donating to this orphanage. This orphanage is a wonderful, wonderful organization. They help kids who are really impoverished. And people say, well, why don't you do that for America kids? Well, how do you know that I don't? And we can't do both? See, this either or is nonsense, is ridiculous. I don't understand that. Because that's not Christianity. Well, we got to help ourselves first. We got to help our people first. So those people are not Christians. Those people don't matter because they live in a different country. No, I don't believe that. I was not raised that way. And so there's a big difference between impoverished people here in America versus impoverished people in Africa, where they don't have even, in some parts, they don't have even clean drinking water, for God's sakes. So the kids that you see with the great big bellies is not because they're full. It's because there's parasites in the water that they're drinking. So people need to understand that. There's a big difference between the two. And so, that's right. Yeah, we got to help out. We got to help out. So if you can, just go to, thank you, kgradb.com. Thank you very much. And click on shop. When you click on shop, you'll see my name. And if you click on my name, there you go. The little section will come up. All the merchandise will come up. And you'll be able to purchase whatever they have. Some really cool items there. And again, when you purchase them, just know that we're going to be helping this community. And that's tremendous. That's tremendous. Okay. So there we go, guys. That's how we do it. That's how we help other people. And that's what I love about, giving back. Okay. Yes. Simon, Autumn. So are demons real? Yes. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. Hello, Ireland, Mike. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. No ifs, ands, or buts. I don't think he's cursed. I think. I'll get to that. Understand, guys, that I've said this many times before, and I don't say this to brag. I'm saying this to explain. All of you who know me, who follow me, know that I do not receive 1 penny from the church. As a bishop, we do not pay our clergy. We don't pay our clergy because we don't focus on always asking for money. Like these other church communities, every time we turn around, they're asking for more and more and more. And people keep complaining about that all the time. So do I. Because every time we turn around, it seems like, a church is always asking for more and more and more because it's never enough. Well, we don't do that. And because we don't do that, that means we also don't pay our clergy because we don't ask for money. So I am a bishop, and I'm a bishop, and I receive not one dime. Not one dime. For 25 years, not one penny have I. I've never received a stipend, a salary, nothing. We fund our own ministry with our own money. Now, thankfully, I've had people help, but that was just so recent. For 23 years, I've been doing it by myself. So while that's noble and that's great and everything, here's why I tell you this. I tell people all the time, I have a doctorate, I have 3 master's degrees, I have a bachelor's, and I have an associate. I went to schools that were regionally accredited through the Department of Education. I was a dean of an academic college, and I don't charge. So when I go to people's homes, I never charge. I try to find a way to get there by putting it on my credit card. At one time, I was $15,000 in debt getting to people's homes. What was interesting is all the people kept saying, oh, you should never charge. You should never charge. They never helped pay off the $15,000 in debt. They were never there to help that, but they were always telling me you should never charge. Isn't that interesting? If I did not know that demons exist, I would do something else with my time. So I say that because I never charge. I pay for it out of my own pocket, and now other people help, thank God. And even that's limited. I have 21,000 emails, people asking me to help them for free. And I don't have a private jet. So what I'm saying to you is, if I didn't know that demons exist, I would do something else with my time. I sure in the heck wouldn't put $15,000 on a credit card in debt. If I had 1 ounce of doubt, I would say, no, I don't think that's going to happen. So that's it. And, and again, guys, please understand, I don't say this to brag. I say this to explain that if I had any doubt at all, just a small doubt, I'd do something else with my time. And I could easily, but I'm dedicated to this ministry. And there we are. Okay. And I know that's a long answer to a question, but nonetheless, that is the answer. Okay. So for those of you who are new, this is what we do on Saturday. Okay. Are you getting the mug? Oh, great. I would appreciate any prayers, and we'll pray for you, certainly. So here's the schedule, and then we'll get into some of your questions and articles. So, all right, on Friday night, we have what's called the Sacred Division. It's a paranormal show. I give a lecture. I teach about something within the paranormal supernatural community. Last night, we had a very interesting lecture. I presented the possessed nuns at the convent of Loudun in France. And so we did that yesterday. And now the weekend on Saturday is the Sacred Division, the weekend edition, because we have a lot of articles that we didn't get to yesterday. And that's normally what we do. So this is kind of like a weekend edition of the Sacred Division Paranormal Show. And then on Sunday, we have 2 things going on Sunday. So at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Mass. So if you would like to join us for Mass, you have to join us on TikTok, everybody. For those of you who are on all the other social media platforms, it's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, TikTok only. Then we have Bible study. And the Bible study is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's for everybody. Okay, so that's Sunday. Then Monday through Friday, we have night prayer. Night prayer is at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't need anything. It's all provided online. You just show up. And then Wednesday, we have Bible study at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and night prayer at 10 p.m. Eastern. So 5 days a week, we dedicate that to teaching scripture, talking theology, having mass, and only 2 days a week. That's it, 2 days. It's secular, fun, entertainment kind of a thing. Okay, so that is the schedule, and hopefully that will explain a little bit. Because, unfortunately, a lot of people don't know the schedule, and that's all right. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Fair enough? All right, now, if you have questions, we'll get to some of your questions, and then we have a lot of articles that we've got to get to because we didn't get to most of them last night at all. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right. Thank you very much for the little hat. I appreciate that. And for those of you who have no idea what I'm doing, obviously, for those of you who are new, our friends there on TikTok are offering gifts. Okay. Wilma is, it's good and bad days. Yes, 100%. The moment you begin to pray the rosary is the moment you get the most violent reaction from a demonic, without question. No, Rob. Actually, I was on a television show. I'm a cast member on a television show called Eli Roth Presents Legion of Exorcists. You can watch it on HBO Max and Travel Channel. And it was a show where a cast of exorcists from different denominations got together and talked about our cases. So, yep. Very cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, sure. Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Okay. So, yeah, it's not just the Roman Catholic. There are other. A private message. It's a long. Simon, I would encourage you to do that to the book to the face rather than here, because I have too many messages here and I won't be able to find it. You can try it and I'll see, but I can't promise you. On Monday, this is going to be the rosary, beautiful rosary that our friend donated. So on Monday, that's the rosary we're going to be praying. And Deb Vitt. I don't know if she's here, Deb Vitt, if you're here. I got these. I don't know if Deb Vitt is here, but so if you want to know more about the church, it's usocc.org. I do preach. I just got finished telling the schedule. Monday through Friday, night prayer, I preach. Sunday and Wednesday, Bible study, I preach. Yep. So, absolutely. Well, no, because I won't be praying it. So we'll pick one tomorrow. Yeah, we'll pick one. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Interest. Thank you. So we'll do that. We'll do that on Monday, because we had so many problems with technology. We didn't do it Friday. So, well, hello there, Wesley. Okay, so if you guys have questions, I'll entertain some of the questions right now, or we can go right into the articles, or both. It doesn't matter. But so far, StreamYard's working on Firefox. I think it was a Chrome issue. Okay, Rob is asking, are shadows seen all the time something to worry about? Okay, here's the deal. So, guys, so that means I'm asking a question. I'm answering a question. So if I'm answering a question, I can't answer your question on top of the answer that I'm giving. So just be patient. Be patient. All right. And I'll leave the chat on for everybody on TikTok. However, if it gets rude and if it gets disrespectful, then I'm going to put sub chat on. Thank you. That's it. We're not interested. We're not interested in trolls. I'm not interested. I'm not going to entertain trolls. So if it gets nasty and disrespectful, I'm putting sub chat on. So just be kind. Just be kind. Okay. So here's the question was about shadow people. So I'm answering a question, so bear with me. It's a shame you have to keep telling people that, but I do. And then they get mad because I don't answer their question when I'm answering a question. Anyway, I have investigated thousands of locations, and I have seen shadow people In some of the cases, it was not violent at all. There was nothing demonic present. There was nothing demonic present. There were no demonic infestation issues. There was no feeling of dread or smelling of sulfur or rotten flesh. There was nothing. There was nothing. It was, as a matter of fact, I had one case where I did it where it was actually quite beautiful. We did a prayer, a blessing, and it was not violent at all. Now, there are other cases where I did see shadow people, and it was very violent. So, unfortunately, you can't say all shadow people are evil, because that's not the experience I've had as clergy, as an investigator. And I guarantee you right now, the seasoned investigators who are here in the chat will tell you the same thing. So, no, a lot of people theorize that these are energies, spirits, whether it be demonic or human, that's trying to manifest. But I've had a lot of locations where I've seen shadow people, and it wasn't violent at all. So hopefully that answers the question. Okay. A little more about the mitre. Well, yeah, that's the you mean the little bishop hat? Are you referring to? Yeah, Roses, as far as hearing your name, that has happened actually a couple times during an investigation, even for me. Sometimes you can hear it. Now, if you can hear it with your ear, it's called a disembodied voice. If you cannot hear it and you have like a digital recorder, this is my favorite digital recorder, one of my favorites to use. I used this when I was at Bobby Mackey's on Ghost Adventures. Thank you. What I love about this is it comes right out, and you can plug this to the USB back into the computer. It's really, really handy. But I have caught amazing EVPs. EVP stands for electronic voice phenomenon, and that means you don't hear it with your ears, but you play it back and you can hear it. I also really love this. I've had amazing EVPs with this too. This has been pretty cool. It's very sensitive. So we don't know. As far as shadow people, there's a lot of theories out there. But like I said, the one theory is that a spirit, whatever spirit that is there, is trying to manifest. So this one here is an Olympus. This one, let me give you the model number. So this one is the Olympus WS100. So Olympus, amazing evidence with this WS100. And there's other ones too. There's other recorders that I have too. So yes, Madare, they can. All right. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Janelle. Thank you. Very beautiful. Why do you think it's okay to curse? You should know. You should know better, Shane. Well, you're not my mom. You're not my dad, and I didn't ask you permission, so I don't need you to tell me what I can and cannot do. That's number one. Number two, I didn't ask you for your permission at all. And number three, there's a difference between cursing and cussing, and you should probably learn the difference between the two. So before you judge me, maybe you should let's judge you, and let's think about all the things that you've done wrong, shall we? Shall we mention all the things? The things that you do. Thank you. The things that you do when no one is watching. Would you like to have that conversation? No, but you want to judge other people, don't you? Got it. Okay. Yep. See, I have performed 33 exorcisms. 33 exorcisms. So, anyway, and again, I want to remind everybody, I am not paying. If you're going to troll, I'm ignoring you. I won't. I don't have time for a Jerry Springer mentality. For us, we're an intelligent group of people. We don't have time to, and I don't have anybody here to interpret Jerry Springer nonsense. So, okay. All right. So, trolls, you will be ignored. Pity. Can I drive a stick shift? I used to many, many years ago, like Jack can't be a normal human being. Just be kind. Just bothers you, doesn't it, Jack? Okay. Oh, Ernie. Okay, cool. Excellent. All right. Scariest exorcism. I would say probably the first. Cheeto Mosquito. I would say the first, because the first is, when you read about it and you study exorcisms and what can happen. Am I just answering people's questions? No, I'm doing a article here in just a second. Matter of fact, I have one pulled up. But if I don't answer questions, then people say I'm fake bishop because I don't answer questions. And then when I do answer questions, people say I'm a fake bishop because I'm not doing articles. So I would see the first exorcism. Because when you... Yeah. Thank you, Renee. And that, because you read about what could happen, but until you see it, it's a different perspective. Totally different perspective. So... you were supposed to go to my home and never got a hold of me. Oh, actually, no, that's incorrect. Let me just check here. Let me see something. Because I would hate to actually... if I was supposed to go to someone's home, I've never said no, unless I couldn't afford it. And so let me just check this real quick. Bear with me. Excuse me for a second. Well, isn't that interesting? You see, that is what you just did was evil. There are no messages. Shame on you. Shame on you. And you follow me. Look at that. The person who was trying to publicly humiliate, and you followed me. And yet, not one message from you. Now the whole entire chat, over 400 people, have just seen what kind of person you are. You should be ashamed of yourself, but you're not, are you? No, because all you wanted was attention. Nothing. No, here it is. I pulled your name up, clicked on message, nothing. These people, they're toxic. They are toxic. They are just bad people. They're just bad people. Goodbye, trolls. Okay, sub chat is on now, and it will stay on for the rest of the night. Okay, because we are not wasting our time. Listen to this. This is a great, great article. Now they're stomping their feet. They're very upset. Pity, go bother someone else on a Saturday night. This is by Megan Bailey. Very, very interesting, friends. A haunt fest promising a frighteningly good time. So listen to this. This is in West Virginia. Heads up to any paranormal fans out there, because Saturday night, tonight, the inaugural Haunt Fest will be frighteningly spooky. The event will run from noon to 8 in Lake Swanee with more than 90 vendors. Haunt Fest is set to have workshops, guest speakers, and a paranormal investigation from 8 to 12. So they're having their fun. That's pretty cool. They're having a fun-filled, exciting, but it will be hot though. I don't know. So representatives. Now, one thing that I want to share with everybody very quickly is I'm going to be going to Scarefest in Lexington, Kentucky in October. Annabelle is going to be there, the doll. So I'll be able to show you guys live Annabelle, and I'll be doing a presentation, a lecture there. So yeah, pretty cool, huh? But I was really glad to point up to show you that troll's profile. That's how bad these people are. That's how toxic they are. They will lie, and they will not even think twice about that. They're just liars. Bad people. Bad people. Okay. Oh, I don't know about this one. We'll say this on the list. This is kind of crazy. By the way, oh yeah, we'll be careful. I've been to Scarefest before. I had a great time. I loved it. Well, actually, let me tell you a little story about Scarefest. So when I went there, it was one of the shows that I was on. I forgot which show it was. But they put me in a small room, and people were furious. And they started yelling at me like I was in charge of the rooms. And I was like, look, guys, I'm not in charge of the rooms. Why are you screaming at me? Because there were no seats. And they started, yelling at me. And so I went to Scarefest, and I told them, I said, look, guys, you're going to have to put me in a bigger room, because people are interested in the topic of demonology. They're just interested in it. And so they said, okay. So they put me in another room. So I packed everything all back up. It was crazy. And then we went to this room, and that room was too small. And people were screaming at me again. And then finally I went to the Scarefest officials. I said, here's the deal. I'm not doing this anymore. You put me in a bigger room, or I'm leaving, because I'm not having these people yell at me like this, because it's not my fault. It was that crazy. And so finally they put me in the great big huge ballroom. And I'll show you the pictures for those of you on Facebook or those other social media. Yeah, anyway. Well, hold on. I'm trying to figure this out here. Let's see. Present. Share screen. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Deny. All right. We're just going to, I'll just show you. So that is, finally, they put us in that there. But that was, it was about, because people were angry. So that was a Scarefest. But when you talk about demonology, there are so many people that are interested in it, and they want to learn about it. And so finally they put me in that bigger room, and that was like 15 minutes before it even started, because people are hungry for the information. Okay, this is an interesting one, by the way. This is by KISS FM 93.1. And it says Concordia Cemetery isn't just old, it's ancient. It was established in 1856 and home to over 60,000 buried souls. Now, the historic landmark is Central El Paso, has been the focus of ghost tours and graveyard investigations and urban legends for decades. One rumor stands above the rest, that somewhere on these haunted grounds, imagine this, lies a literal, they say, gateway to hell. All right, well, it says that if you're willing to part with the $25, you can go find it yourself. Where's El Paso's Hell's Gate? It's interesting that people call these things Hell's Gate. No, 25 years ago, people never said Hell's Gate in a cemetery until we went live and we called the cemetery in Elizabethtown the Gates of Hell Cemetery. And then everywhere else, people start talking about, oh, it's the Hell's Gate. It's Gates of Hell. I was there 25 years ago in the paranormal community. People weren't calling other cemeteries Gates of Hell. But the Gates of Hell Cemetery in Kentucky is a bad place. So in this place, El Paso's Paso del Norte Paranormal Society offers regular ghost tours of the cemetery, and every October they crank it up a notch with special haunted history tours. The centerpiece of the spooky trek, you ask, a site known as Hell's Gate, a mysterious area near the old railroad tracks where visitors claim to feel a strange pull. In more scientific terms, is a paranormal vortex. Some say it messes with your internal compass, and others say it's just a weird breeze. Anyway, if that wasn't enough, some visitors have reported hearing ghostly hoofbeats and children laughing in the dark, which, let's be honest, are probably two of the most terrifying sounds you could hear in a graveyard. Anyway, tour guides have claimed that they have seen shadows darting between headstones, mysterious mists rising from the infant section of the cemetery, Is it paranormal activity or just El Paso's dust playing tricks again? So if you want to go there, it's Concordia Cemetery. But it's interesting that people weren't talking about, Hell's Gates and all that stuff at cemetery until we named the Gates of Hell Cemetery in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. That place, I will not go to at night. I will not go to at night. I just won't. That is a place that I've talked about this many times before. The Gates of Hell Cemetery is the real Silent Hill. So for those of you who don't know Silent Hill was a scary game. And then they made it into a movie where during the day, it was tolerable. It felt normalish. But at night, it came alive. And that is, matter of fact, I did a documentary. So for those of you who are new here, what you can do is go to bishopjameslong.com and scroll down to Tube to the U, if you know what I mean, and click that and just search for Gates of Hell. Gates of Hell Cemetery. Why is it? I don't know. As far as it being different, in the day, it feels like a cemetery, but you also feel you feel like you're being watched, but it's not intimidating. But at night, no. There is, that place is as cursed as you get. So we found out, over 20 years ago, probably about 23, 24 years ago, a family who had, generations, family buried there. It's an old abandoned cemetery. Oh, I've been back. I went back to do a documentary on it, but not at night. You go there at night, you are asking for trouble, and you're going to find it. And so, but it was about 23, 24 years ago. A family asked us if we would go to this place and bless it, because unfortunately, a lot of people went there, did bad things. And so we said, sure. So we did an investigation. All hell broke loose. I mean, that place, it was on a different level. And so I have it. Just go to the documentary. And it has the EVP, and you'll see it. So just go to the bishopjameslong.com and scroll down to where it says Tube to the U, if you get my point. Because Brenda, bad things happen there because, I don't know, Big Red, because satanic rituals were performed there. Plain and simple. I mean, that's the truth. And also, a lot of people go there and they use Ouija boards. They invoke demons. So I went there and I blessed the area because the family asked me to do it because they had been receiving information that people would go there and do these rituals, and obviously mess up the area, cause havoc. And so I said, sure, yeah. And even gravestones are knocked down, which is a shame. And so I would go there and we blessed it, and it was just violent. I mean, there was a lot. And so now, and people say, would I bless it again? The problem is if I go and bless it even now, tonight, well, no sooner than I bless it than people show up there and they do stupid things that they shouldn't do. And it was blessed ground, but now it's a curse because people go there and do terrible things. Oh, thank you very much, Missy. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's a pharaoh. So, okay. Let's do now. Yeah, I would encourage people not to go there. You don't want to meet. You don't want to be a part of that. If you do, you could get yourself into some big trouble, and it's not worth it. It's just not. Thank you, Lynn. It's not worth it. And so I would encourage you. What do you understand about ring forts? Now, man, ring forts. I'm not familiar with that term. Now, I'm familiar with what's called fairy forts, and that's Irish folklore. And I think that's probably what you mean. So it's circular. Basically, they're circular enclosures, um, believed to be portals inhabited by spirits. So, and if you disturb these fairy, forts, is what they're called, then you can have very bad luck or negative encounters. So, but I think that's what you mean. I've heard of a fairy forts, but not ring forts. But I think that's what you're referring to. Okay. Oh, absolutely. Thanks for being here. Now, listen to this. This is an interesting article that I saw the other day, and I wanted to share this with you. Pine Ridge, I have not been to that reservation. I will be going to, in Los Angeles, for those of you, most of you know, I'll be going to the Queen Mary, and staying there for a couple of days. It's supposed to be a very haunted location. I'll also be going to several other haunted locations in California, and I'm working on putting all the script and all that stuff together. So that's what I'm doing now. So we're looking forward to this. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't have. Okay, here I want to talk about this craziness, because people keep asking the same question. We've already addressed this, but this is by TOI World Desk. People still ask, well, what happened to Annabelle? There was a total, complete internet meltdown over this haunted doll. So many people don't know what actually happened, why the story started happening as far as what happened to Annabelle. Okay. Oh, yeah, Big Red, yeah. So the infamous Annabelle doll, known as one of the most feared haunted objects in the world, became the center of the internet firestorm in the past few days after social media users claimed it had mysteriously vanished during a paranormal tour in the United States. The doll, currently touring as the country as part of the Devils on the Run exhibit, reportedly wasn't visible to visitors at a recent stop. No, that sparked fears, conspiracy theories, even viral panic online. People still talking about this. Anyway, the speculation intensified after a fire broke out at the historic Nodaway Resort in White Castle, Louisiana, just days after Annabelle had been displayed in the state. Now, while officials confirmed that no injuries occurred and dismissed any supernatural link to the blaze, social media users quickly pointed to the doll's presence as a chilling coincidence and said, you see, that's what it is. That's what it is. All right. Here's what happened for the whole entire, we've kind of talked about this before, but we'll address it again. Annabelle never went missing. The doll didn't get up and run away. And by the way, it's a Raggedy Ann doll. It doesn't look like the one in the movie because Raggedy Ann is copyrights, trademark. So they couldn't use a Raggedy Ann doll. Now, I did know, I was friends with Lorraine Warren. I did not know Ed. Lorraine didn't like the doll. However, friends, please understand that many times, and people would say, well, the Warrens always said it should never be moved. As if they knew the Warrens. I knew Lorraine. I was friends with Lorraine. That's not true at all. Many times they took Annabelle when they did presentations at universities and they talked about haunted items and they talked about that particular doll. So they took the doll with them. So the idea that they never moved it is just simply not true at all. It's just not. So Annabelle didn't go missing. People thought that Annabelle would be at a location. They were anticipating it. They were expecting it. It wasn't there. So because it wasn't there, people went online and said, it's missing, it's missing. Someone stole Annabelle. No one stole Annabelle. It's just that particular location wasn't one of the stops that they were going to do. So, and by the way, remember, we had Father Bob Bailey on. Father Bob Bailey is a friend of mine. He is a retired Roman Catholic priest who, by the way, believes that ghosts exist. For all those people saying ghosts don't exist, don't go, the Roman Catholic Church says they don't exist. Well, Father Bob Bailey, who is a retired Roman Catholic priest, said, yeah, he believes they do. Anyway, so he was on the show several weeks ago, and he confirmed it's okay. Annabelle's fine. She didn't run away. No one took her. And they're doing the tour, and they will be at Scarefest in October, and I will be there as well. So I'll be present. I'll go live. Unfortunately, I can only go live on TikTok when I go there, because I'll be using my phone, and then we'll be going live with Annabelle this October at Scarefest, because I'm going to be doing a lecture on demonology there. So Annabelle is safe and sound. No one stole her. She didn't run away. We're good to go. We're good to go. Okay. However, what was the calling or dream? I did have a dream, Danny. I had a dream often. Let me tell you this. So hang tight with your questions. So I knew I wanted to be a priest when I was 5. I remember in kindergarten, we were at school, and the teacher was asking, what do we want to do? And I can't remember all the details, but I told her what I wanted. And then at Sunday, we were going to church, and my mom asked me, well, what did you do on Friday? Because, she was very busy. She was working as well. And she said, what did you do for school on Friday? And I told her, and we were going right inside the church, and I told her what the teacher asked her what we wanted to do. And she said, well, what do you want to do? And I pointed at the priest. And I remember this like it was yesterday. I said, I want to do what he does. So I've known I wanted to be a priest since I was a little small boy. People ask me all the time, then why didn't you become a Roman Catholic priest? Well, that was my plan. And I've talked about this many times before. That was my goal. I had my whole life planned out. I was going to be a Roman Catholic priest. I would receive a stipend or a salary, about $40,000 a year. All your bills are paid for, your food and everything is paid for. So the $40,000 is just extra, income and savings. And when I would be ordained, then I'd have a parish. So my whole life was planned. And then I received my minor orders in graduate school. It's studying in the seminary for the priesthood. And then God began, thank you, the Crumbs. He began calling me in the last year of graduate school to the Old Catholic Church. I didn't want to go because I didn't know what that meant. How was I going to fund my own ministry? How was I going to buy a church? How do you even do that? So I for a whole year, I ran away from that calling. And I begged God to change his mind. But it just, the calling grew deeper and deeper. And then finally, after a year of speaking to my spiritual director, who was a Roman Catholic priest, and he said, James, if God is calling you to serve in the Old Catholic Church, you need to do this. You need to listen to the call. So okay, fine. I'll follow. So all these people who keep attacking me, but you need to convert to Roman Catholicism. Do you realize you're attacking God? That's not very smart, because God is the one who called me. Believe me, this path that I took was less traveled, because 25 years ago, there were very, very few Old Catholic priests, very few. It was only since the last 10 years has it really been picking up. But for 25 years ago, there were very few. Matter of fact, there was only one in Kentucky. One. So I said, okay, God, if that's what you need me to do. And it hasn't been easy. And of course, the Roman Catholics are always constantly harassing me, but yet they don't understand that when you harass me, you're harassing the source that called me to serve here. But I did have a dream. It was a recurring dream. I talked about this in the book. And, sir, a blessing to follow you. Shame there's a subscription. I agree, Crumpstum. And the reason is we have to put subscribers on. Everybody can watch. Everybody, there's over 400 people here. Everybody can watch. But that doesn't give people a right to chat. Because when you abuse the chat, then that's when we're done. We're done. So we turned sub chat on because it got really nasty in here in the beginning, really aggressive and hateful. And the comments were disgusting. And so we don't tolerate that stuff here because we're adults. And the way we fix that problem is we put sub chat on. And the only people that have a problem with that are people who want to troll. And that's the truth. So that's why we put sub chat, because we don't want to, we don't tolerate that. If I had, and the sad part about it, if I had chat open right now to everybody, oh, we could have 600-700 people in here easy. But then they'd come in here and harass everybody and say nasty, horrible things. And this is why we have sub chat on during Bible study as well. And I won't apologize to anybody for it. Because this is how we protect this community from people who want to come in here and spread their venom. We don't allow it. We don't allow it. So we put sub chat on, and we'll continue to do it and continue to do it and continue to do it until people get the point that in this chat, if you want to come here, just be a normal, respectful human being. And then I'll leave the chat on to everybody. Until then, sub chat will be on as much as I want it on. If I want it on for the entire time, I'll leave it on permanently. Because I'm not going to give trolls a platform to spread their venom. I won't have that. Nope. And the moderators don't want it either, and neither do the people who follow us. We don't want that trash here. This is interesting. I agree, Janelle. This is by Shrita Kukreddy, and it says, where is Annabelle? Paranormal expert prays as he claims energy is different here amid haunted doll's tour. Listen to this. Thank you, guys. Listen. Annabelle, the haunted doll, accused of scratches, odd muttering, and even demonic attacks, arrived in Narlands, as you all know, May 13th. Annabelle's most famous for her portrayal as a porcelain doll in the Conjuring movie world. The original Annabelle, however, is actually a gentle red-haired Raggedy Ann doll who was given as a present to a young student of nursing in the 1970s. So the doll's presence set off a chain of inexplicable disruptions, according to the late Ed and Lorraine Warren. But a lot of people are saying that when you go to these locations after Annabelle has been there, then everything changes. You feel this heaviness, this scary. That's why I'm interested. I've never seen Annabelle, and I'm very interested in actually going and seeing what do I think. Because to me, I think it's going to be interesting experience. Like I said, I know Lorraine didn't like Annabelle, and she was always uncomfortable around her. But nonetheless, we'll see. Okay. This is by TK Randall. An alien, this is a true story, guys. An alien shows up on doorbell camera in Compton, California. Something was lurking, which was captured outside the home of Jessica Ortiz in the early hours of the morning back on June the 6th. Has left a lot of people scratching their heads. See, right at the beginning of the clip, you can see a strange bluish gray figure with an anonymously shaped head walking quickly across the bottom right hand of the frame. So then a few seconds later, you can hear a series of sounds coming from somewhere nearby. The figure looks like a stereotypical alien, as one pointed out. It says, quote, I have cameras in the back that are motion censored and they didn't pick up anything, Ortiz told the Hidden Underbelly. My aunt says, lives next door, and she said about 12:45 a.m., she heard 3 loud bangs on the roof of her house, which is wild to me, she said. She said she heard scratching sounds after the second bang and ran to her room and started praying. Well, you can look at it. As a matter of fact, I purposely waited when I went live so that I could see this video. I've not seen it, So this is, I'm going to watch it right now and see what I think, because I didn't want to ruin it. Now, we'll see. Okay, of course, just get with the video. 1 second. Okay, I'm watching this now. Let me turn this down.
And we'll have a real quick chat afterwards.
Okay, let's watch it. Oh, that's kind of weird. Yeah, you might want to check that out.
Here's what I know about alien booking creatures.
Hold on 1 second.
Let's take a look at the footage.
I'm gonna see if I can slow. It's very fast. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of weird. All right. It's you can go on Tube to the Hue, alien filmed on Ring doorbell, Compton, California, and that's where you can go to find this little creature. I don't know about that one. You'll have to watch it because it's not very clear. I was trying to take a screenshot of it. It doesn't work very good. You'll have to just go to the U, and it's there, and just look an alien in Compton, California. That's kind of interesting. That's it's kind of weird. I don't know what that is. Oh, they have the video slowed down. Okay, let me watch this again, slowing it down. Okay, so I don't know what I think about this.
Also, June the 6th.
There it is.
6, 2025, just after 1
What the hell?
a.m. Now, in the footage, we can see this alien-like creature.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I'm going to screenshot this because, yeah, check that out, everybody. Check that out. That's kind of weird. I mean, the only way that you could do that is if it's CGI. So I'm going to make a video on this one because this is pretty interesting. Okay, let me remove this. Hey, so far, everybody, Firefox is working. Firefox is working. It hadn't cut me off. So you know what that means? It was probably a Chrome issue. I think Chrome was... Well, I'm thinking, honestly, I'm thinking this is CGI. That's what I really do think so. Because it certainly couldn't be, it's too, I don't think it's human. Now, some people say it was a demon, but to me it looks, anyway, if you guys haven't looked at that, guys, you talked to a politician to Compton, and oh, you did, Renee? What did they say? So Renee says they talked to a politician. You talked to a politician about this. That's interesting. Catholic, yeah. Well, in my opinion, there's something there. I don't know what it is, but that's a really interesting. I'm definitely going to do a video on that. Okay. I think that's what I think this is. I do. I believe this is AI. There's just something. Oh, I love the meter. Yeah. Well, I'm going to be going to Los Angeles actually in September. Yeah, I'd love to do that. All right. By the way, this is a weird story. Everybody, listen to this. I don't know if you remember, but I did a presentation. Oh, sure. Oh, I would love to meet her. Yeah, Renee, I would love to meet her. That would be amazing. Congresswoman. Yeah, that would be fantastic. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to, in September, Renee, I'm going to be in California, in Los Angeles. So I think that would be amazing. The opportunity to speak to a congressperson would be, yeah. Yeah, I will. Let me follow you. Well, there we go. You requested to follow. Oh, it's a private account. So I tried. I've sent. I've sent you an information. So you have to accept me as a follower because you are. It's a private or it says something. So you got it. You got to accept it. But I'm going to write this down because yeah, that would be pretty cool. All right. There we go. Okay. But this is a really crazy story. I don't know. Do you remember me doing a presentation on the sphere? Some of you may not have remembered this. Let me jog your memory because this was a really strange thing, and no one really knows what this sucker was. But what's happening now is TK Randall writes this. According to Dr. Stephen Greer, the controversial object was at the center of a heist attempt earlier this month. So the Buga sphere, that's what it's called. You can Google this, everybody. It's really interesting. It's a Buga, Buga. The Buga sphere has been back in the news again this week after it was allegedly almost stolen by thieves who dressed up as police in an attempt to take it from a vault in Mexico City. Dr. Stephen Greer and U.S. Congressman Eric Burlison had been among a group of high-profile individuals who had been visiting the facility at the time. And they were told by controversial UFO researcher Jamie Mawson that the heist attempt had taken place, though it's unclear if the incident had been independently verified. The sphere itself has been undergoing extensive testing, with samples currently being analyzed in a laboratory. And according to Mawson, efforts underway to activate it using electrical charges. Oh, that's great. We don't even know what this sucker is. Anyway, any sort of attempts to interfere with this examination will be known, and the people and perpetrators will be held to an account for it, Greer wrote on social media. It remains unclear exactly who these alleged thieves were and why they wanted to steal the object. So but it is a weird, this Buga sphere, I don't know what this thing is. And there's a lot of people who are really confused about it because when you look at it, it looks strange. It is a mysterious metallic sphere. It was found in Buga, Colombia. It was initially spotted flying over the city and subsequently landed, sparking debate about whether it was a genuine UFO. Now, the sphere is said to have strange symbols on its surface, and it's believed to have a decaying ionized field that can dehydrate the surrounding areas. Now, some researchers have been drawing parallels between the sphere's interior and Nikola Tesla's tower. I don't know. So there's a lot of debate on what this thing is, but apparently there are some people who try to steal it. Not a good idea. Not a very good idea. So, yeah, Lynn, I talked to the moderators, and the open mic when we had Miss Wilma here was it was more funny comedy, things like this. And then of course Miss Wilma got sick, and then we were trying to figure out what are we going to do on Saturday. And we were trying the problem with and it was a big issue. But the problem with having the moderators come on like we did is that nobody on all the other social media platforms would be able to participate. And we would have to end it because they wouldn't be able to see or hear them. Because I run the presentation on two different computers. So for the moderators, I'd bring them up, but then I would have to end early, a lot early, on all the other social media platforms, and none of them they would have to come over to TikTok. So it was just problematic with that. And that was the biggest issue, is because of that. So, okay. Yep. Oh, yeah. Thank you guys very much for the gifts. I appreciate that. That's right. BJ Bonnie says that the Skinwalker Ranch has reported seeing a lot of spheres too. This is interesting too, guys. This is why I say to you that I do believe in UFOs. And a lot of people just dismiss it and say it's nonsense. I disagree. So Randall writes this: a former U.S. Air Force pilot recalls close encounters with a shiny object. So Ryan Bodenheimer recently shared his own experiences with the unknown object while flying over the U.S. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is a professional pilot. He is formerly a member of the elite Thunderbirds aerobatic team. Thank you very much. Thank you. And Bodenheimer has certainly seen his fair share of unusual things in the sky. Now, again, this is a member of the elite Thunderbirds. And his most notable close encounter occurred when he was returning home from a training exercise near the enigmatic Area 51 facility in Nevada. Thank you. While cruising at an altitude of about 30,000 feet, he witnessed a strange object suddenly streak past his aircraft, traveling at a speed of over 400 knots. Now, I'm not a pilot. For those of you, if you're pilots out there, let us know how fast 400 knots is. He described the object as silver, unpainted, shiny, and reflective, while noting that it had been shaped like a triangle with pointed wings, light structures, and a tail. So, okay, there we go. Yeah, that's interesting. Because now keep in mind, this guy, he had, well, thank you for the question. He had the right of way. And this, all of a sudden, this shiny object flew right in front of him. He said streak past his aircraft. Well, they wouldn't do that. There's no way that if you're thinking about if it was military, well, they wouldn't put another aircraft, him. So, okay, 460 miles per hour. So thank you guys. So it was traveling 460 miles per hour. The problem is this is a pilot, a professional pilot who's flying home. Obviously, if he's flying home, he has permission from air traffic control. Now, they're not going to put another aircraft next to this plane. But anyway, he described the object as silver, unpainted, shiny, and reflective. And again, he was at an altitude of 30,000 feet. And he said it streaked past his aircraft, traveling at 460 miles per hour. And he says it looked like a futuristic fighter jet, too advanced, almost machine welded, he said. And this wasn't the only encounter reported at Bodenheimer. He said on a separate flight at a similar altitude, he also encountered a strange rectangular object in the sky. Although he did report it to air traffic control, no radar confirmation of the object was ever forthcoming. Exactly what these two objects could have been continues to remain a mystery. So if you go online, you can type in UAP close encounters. And his name is Ryan Bodenheimer, Boden Heimer. I don't buy that this was a I just don't buy that this was a jet and a human-made jet, because they wouldn't put his life in jeopardy like that. They just wouldn't. And the fact that it came pretty close to him, he said, I don't, something's not right. Perhaps maybe, but I still think I'm kind of concerned about that. So anyway, yeah. Well, you saw back in the 90s, you saw one that looked like a triangle. I absolutely saw something. For those of you who are in the Windy City in Chicago, good old Chi-town. Chicago was an interesting place. It was a very, very interesting location. It was completely different than what I'm used to in Kentucky. And I mean, it's not normal. It's not like it was here. But they had a really cool June 12th, they had a paranormal festival. So if you guys want to go there next year, it's called the Windy City Paranormal Festival. And it's usually in June. Well, thank you very much. They have 4 thrilling days of mystery, magic, and the macabre. So it's a Parafest. And again, they're called the Windy City Paranormal Festival. They have it every June. They had a lot of names there in the paranormal community. They were doing presentations. So you can look it up, Windy City Paranormal Festival for next year if you're looking for a paranormal event in June. There you go. But the problem is in June, it's too hot. Unless it's inside. If it's not inside, forget it. Forget it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Big Red. Now, this TK, oh, can you believe this? This is why I feel like, I really do. I feel like, how is this possible? For those of you, I'm telling you, some of you are going to feel old here. I'm giving you a heads up. I'm giving you a heads up. Jaws turns 50. 50 years old. I know. Yeah, I know. Yep. TK Randall writes this. Here it is. The summer of 1975 was the summer of Jaws. The first blockbuster movie sent waves of panic and awe through the audiences. Jaws, the Tel Aviv killer great white shark that terrorizes a coastal tourist town, which, by the way, is it based on a true story? The true story of Jaws is that it was a bull shark. And here's what's really scary. I did a video, a duet on TikTok. Friends, they found a great white shark swimming around in fresh water. Now that is a problem. I don't like that at all. Yeah, actually, Jackie, Jackie, let me tell you something even better. Jackie says, Bishop forgot to tell you about the zero sugar hydration drink. I got something even better for you. That. Gatorade water. So this will give you what you need. And I'm telling you something. It'll give you all of your electrolytes that you need. This tastes just like water. There's no taste to it at all. You can't tell. You cannot tell. And I love Deer Park water. This is the best. And you can get, by the way, this big old bottle of water, you can get this for $2 at Walmart. There it is. Yeah, I don't want to try any other, because all the other, put it in here. There's a lot of things that I'm very, very careful about what to put in, because a lot of these, drinking packs, they have things that can cause cancer. So you got to be careful with that. But that big old bottle is $2, and there's no taste to it at all. And there's not these additives that are dangerous. So, well, hello, Tom. But so anyway, for those of you who have, who we're talking about Jaws, the first blockbuster movie sent waves of panic and awe through audiences. Jaws, this terrorizes a coastal town. To call Steven Spielberg a masterpiece, a creature feature is trite, because the shark isn't known for most of the movie. Its mechanical difficulties meant production didn't have one ready to use until later in the filming process. Suspense and fear build, and the movie unlocked in viewers an innate fear of the unknown, encouraging the idea that monsters lurk beneath the ocean's water. Oh, but they do. They do. And because in 1975, marine scientists knew far less than we do now about sharks in the world. And it was easy for the myth of the rogue shark as a terrible eating machine to take hold. Well, but it's true that it was a bull shark. But in addition to scaring many moviegoers that it's not safe to go in the water, Jaws was over the years inspired generations of researchers, including me, the person says. The scientific curiosity sparked by this horror fish flick has helped reveal so much more about what lies beneath the waves than what they knew 50 years ago. And that is true. Unfortunately, when the movie came out, there was an extreme, and that's really, it's a shame. It was an extreme attack on sharks. And they're very, very important for the ecosystem. So it was overfishing. And after the movie came out, boy, I tell you what, they almost went extinct. And it was really dangerous. They were unaliving sharks at a rapid rate. And that was problematic. So we need sharks, but I'm not swimming with anything. If I can't see it, I don't swim with it. And don't tell me, well, but sharks don't bite. They just kind of nibble. Someone told me that. Nibble. Really? It's just an exploratory nibble. Okay, with half your leg is gone. Oh, that was just a nibble. Oh, thank you, Murray. That was just a nibble. My bad. Didn't mean to take your leg. My bad. That was just a nibble. No. I mean, yeah, that's what they said. It's an exploratory nibble. Get out of here. No. I don't swim in the ocean. Nope. As a matter of fact, when I did the Exorcist, the Legion of Exorcists show, I had a brief moment before I left to get back on the plane to go home. I wish I could have had. I'll have more time to actually, be on the beach this time. But I was there, and the sun was starting to go down. The most beautiful sunsets, no question. California has stunning sunsets. I saw several sharks. When it was, especially when it got a little darker, but you could still see within 3 feet of water, and they were, attacking. They were, eating. They were feeding, and these were bull sharks. And so, don't tell me, well, they're just way out there. No. These suckers were in 3 feet of water. I saw it. I mean, I was maybe 10 feet away from one. So no, and see, bull sharks are they're known, they'll eat anything. It doesn't matter. They'll eat anything. So yeah, people say, well, they just nibble. No. I ain't being nibbling. No. So, but my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, that crazy boy, he'll go way out in the ocean. I mean, way out. He can't even touch the bottom. I'm like, boy, you are cray-cray. You're cray-cray. He better not do that around me, because I will get the biggest speaker that I can possibly find, and I'll ask him, is there Bluetooth on there? And I will play Jaws. I will play the Jaws theme. Yes, I will. I say, look, now you better come on in. I probably would do that, actually. Okay. Interesting. I saw this. This is a really interesting article. You might want to take a look at this, guys. T.K. Randall also writes this. A crowd of worshipers were stunned as they said Jesus appeared in the clouds. So the heavenly spectacle was filmed over the Philippines earlier this month during a celebratory gathering. I did see this. And Catholic worshipers who had been out to celebrate National Youth Day on June 14th got more than they bargained for when a very unusual cloud formation suddenly appeared overhead, resembling a robed figure. And the formation quickly drew attention, with onlookers becoming convinced that what they were seeing was the shape of Jesus himself in the sky. The phenomenon quickly made local headline news, and footage of the spectacle went viral. I saw it's interesting when you look at it now. You can easily argue, well, but there's, it's pareidolia. Some people say, no, this was real. No, this was not a fake. No, this was not a fake video. This was actually, let me check. Double check this, but no, it wasn't. This was not AI. But it is interesting though. Now there's a term called pareidolia, and pareidolia means that, for example, you see an image, someone else might see a different image. I can see where people think that it was, but I mean, to me, I think I personally think this is pareidolia, but I get why people think that it is. I'll find the picture, and I'll send it to you. So 1 second. Send anyway, and then I'll show you guys. It is interesting, but it's pretty cool that so many people see the same thing. When you got pareidolia, most of the time, they don't see the same thing. And okay, there it is. So this is yeah, I'm gonna say this is probably a pareidolia situation, but it is still interesting nonetheless. I'll show it to you. There you go. So I think it is, when you see the video is different. No, this was not AI. This is 100% not AI. So that they do know, but it was interesting. But let me matter of fact, I've never seen the actual video. I don't know why Graham to the Insta is not showing. I'm just going to end it. I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right. I don't know. I'm looking at it now. I'm trying to look at the video. There's the video. No. Just play the video. So just type in Jesus in the Clouds, Philippines, and you can watch it too. It is interesting. I mean, it does, when you see it on video, it's like, wow, that's pretty cool. It is kind of weird. Yeah, guys, check that out. How do you feel the universe enters the rims of our world? Like when you say universe enters, we enter the universe. I'm confused. You have to explain that one. But anyway, this is, a lot of people say that they saw this, but when you see it, I would encourage you to take a look at it, see what you think. It was not AI, because many people saw it. So it wasn't just one person filming it. Many people filmed it. But it did kind of look, it's just type it in. Jesus in Clouds, Philippines. Yeah. If you believe in aliens, why not? Jesus, yeah. Well, yeah. Was that, Jenny, are you asking me that? Or are you asking people? So anyway, I want to pass that on to you. But that was pretty interesting. Yeah. Okay. Uh-oh, we're going to move this around, move that around. Oh, yeah, just saying, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, certainly. Okay, here's a little place if you want to go to a paranormal, I don't know, location. Well, this is WIBX 950 AM. So it says here that uncover chilling true crime and paranormal secrets in Herkimer. So if you love true crime, haunted history, and a little adrenaline after dark, well, this one's for you. On Friday and Saturday in this August, I think it's Herkimer County is opening the doors of two of its most haunted buildings for an overnight ghost hunt you won't forget. The historic Four Corners Ghost Hunt invites brave souls to enter 1834 Herkimer County Jail and the 1884 Suter House Museum, both steeped in chilling true stories and paranormal activity. The event runs from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. and for $99. You'll have the rare chance of a ghost hunt inside, I hate that term, inside these real-life crime scenes in New York's darker days. So for those of you who don't know, the haunted history behind Herkimer's jail, and the 1834 jail is where Roxalana Drews was held and later unalived after being convicted of unaliving her husband. Her spirit is still said to roam the halls, and just steps away, the Suter House holds echoes of Chester Gillette's infamous unaliving trial. I have to say unaliving because of TikTok rules, where medical exams and autopsies were once conducted. Anyway, it says you'll have exclusive access to both locations, participate in guided ghost hunting vigils with professional investigators, and get hands-on experience with paranormal equipment like EMF readers, trigger objects. Trigger object is like, for example, if there is something that they believe that spirit would have used while they were alive. And so if you want to go there, it's $99 a person. It's in New York State. And you can type in Herkimer Jail, Herkimer, Herkimer Jail. And it's this August. It's going to be hot. Hopefully they have air conditioning, so it won't be too bad for you. And we're gonna end this with it. Listen, I don't know about this one. This is kind of strange. It's not paranormal necessarily, but it is interesting. Oh yeah, insect sign. Could be demons. Well, see that a lot of people ask me about that. Jenny, I'm sorry. Do I think that aliens like lizard people could be demons? Now, here's the problem with that theory. They don't need spaceships to fly around. See, that's the issue. Demons don't need spaceships. Yeah, Crumps, actually, I performed 33 exorcisms. Yeah, and in 25 years, the first time I investigated was 35 years ago. So since then, I have investigated thousands of locations. Many people's homes and blessed their homes and violent activity. So, I mean, it's a possibility. Could they shape into that? Certainly. But I see that's a problem. I can't say yes because I've never seen a lizard person. So therefore, because I've never seen one, I could not definitively say, yep, that's a demonic. I've seen possession, so I know what that looks like. I've seen a person who is possessed. I know what that looks like. So I can answer those questions. As far as lizard people, it really is an hypothesis. I can't definitively say, yep, absolutely, because I don't even know if they exist. That's the thing. So. No, Crumptus, or Crumpsta, we actually require psychological evaluation prior to performing an exorcism. That's actually a requirement. That's non-negotiable. So if someone, first of all, I don't perform exorcisms on command. And secondly, if someone says they need an exorcism, it's an extensive process. It's not something we do the next day. So we require psychological evaluation. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But keep in mind, people say, well, could you be mentally ill? Well, yes, you could be mentally ill and still be possessed, certainly. Well, then how do you know that person is not struggling with just mental illness? Simply because a person who's mentally ill cannot levitate. Mental illness does not cause you to levitate. Mental illness does not give you the ability of retrocognition or prognostication. Mental illness does not give you the ability to have languages, knowledge of a languages you never spoke before. So there are clear signs that mental illness does not cause you to do. Oh yeah, right. All right. Listen to this one, everybody. Hello there, Croker. There's a breakthrough. I don't know. There's a breakthrough as scientists create a healthy mice with two fathers. You have heard me correctly. The research, which was carried out in China, shows that it is possible to create offspring from two male parents. Okay. Recently, we featured an article which was asked the question, how long would it take for humans to become extinct if, for whatever reason, nobody would have children? Well, the latest research from Shanghai Jiangtong University in China might hold the key to averting extinction entirely if such a scenario actually came about. According to a report, scientists have been able to find a way to make it possible for mice to produce offspring from two parents of the same sex that can then themselves go on to have their own offspring. So, this is interesting. To trial this method, the researchers created an embryo with the DNA of two male mice, then altered the chemical tags of the DNA to mimic female patterns using a method known as epigenetic programming. The egg was then placed inside a female house and a female mouse and allowed to grow. While every attempt was successful, the research ultimately produced two healthy mice capable of reproducing. But you still placed it in a female mice. So two male mice cannot, in fact, produce mice. You still have to have a female. Anyway, while not every attempt was successful, the research ultimately produced two healthy mice capable of reproducing. Crucially, the experiment shows that male and female DNA are not critical to an embryo's development. It confirms that genomic imprinting is the main barrier to uniparental reproduction in mammals and shows it can be overcome. Now, whether this technique has the potential to work on humans, however, remains to be seen. Researchers created embryo. That's interesting. So what's going to be next? So you place, then, I don't know. I think this is Dr. Frankenstein here. Because if you create an embryo with DNA of two male mice and alter the chemical tags of the DNA to mimic female patterns, I mean but then you place the embryo that was created by two male mice into a female mouse, obviously for the embryo to grow. Then, I mean, I guess my concern is, are they going to take the female parts eventually out from the female and place it into a male? I don't know if I like this. Yeah. Yeah, this is I don't know about, this is not a good idea. They got to leave things alone. This I think goes a bit too far. I'm not a fan of that. Okay, I agree. Yeah, it's too Jurassic Park. Yeah, it really is. It really is. I think it's too Jurassic Park, and I think that's the best way to explain that. So, for those of you who are listening to this on podcast, we say goodnight to you guys. Yeah, so what we're going to be doing is every Friday we have our paranormal show. We have a lot of articles that we usually never get to, and that's okay. Primarily because, we have a good time. And so let me Division Weekend Edition. I'm going to publish this for you guys so you guys can have it. 1 second. And now you guys, well, if I spell it right, wouldn't that be right? And then I want to remind everybody. So here's what we got. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard. Don't forget, we have our Mass. And then 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, we have Bible study. And so it worked. Firefox didn't kick me off. So hopefully it will, thank you very much. Hopefully that'll stay like that. But for those of you who are listening to and watching on all the other social media platforms, remember, I tell you all the time, your value does not decrease based on someone's inability or refusal to see your worth. You're priceless. And don't let any troll tell you or convince you otherwise. We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.